going on, everyone? Welcome to a special session, or should I say, sessions, with individual members of the Brotherhood of the Dark Star. And joining me now is Brian. Let everybody know where you're from and who you can play.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian. I've been playing Daglin Macross, Kimry Kelt Thief, favored son of Rel. Recently made 5th level, con man and avid Lotus smoker. But generally a nice dude. Pretty bad at his thiefly duties, but he ends up somehow escaping and outliving and getting to the next day. So I'm also joining you. I'm sorry, from beautiful Northern California, Bay Area. Yeah, excited to be here tonight.
That's cool. So, with the 2 weeks downtime, as this healed up, the group got up to a few shenanigans. They will no doubt shenanigan again at some point. But for those who don't know, we're using the Drunken Debauchery table that's available from Northwind Adventures. Link is in the description. Everybody's already rolled, so I know what their result is going to be, but what we don't know is how much it's going to cost our adventurers. So I'm going to get Declan to roll me a d6.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Got 3. Okay, cool. And then a second d6.
All right, here we go. 33. That's my favorite number.
Not bad. So this evening out is going to cost you 30% of whatever you have on your character sheet.
All right.
30%.
It could be 30. Gone, baby. It's been a lot. I've had it. Yeah, I've had it a lot.
It could be a big number. It could be a small number. Some of the other guys, there have been bigger numbers. But we'll see how that goes. So, what Declan got involved in was a little bit of trouble at the Hook and Keel, a low-ceiling dockside tavern in the Fish Gut district. Cheap rum, tar-stained beams, and a crowd that cheers first and asks names later. And why it started. It all started when Declan Macross made a bold declaration.
No man born under a dying sun can outdrink me! You fools!
Yeah, so what does Declan remember happening?
I remember sauntering into this wonderful establishment, and a couple of people catching my eye in the corner. There was a couple of Carolingian Franks, mercenaries that were there, and we started getting into a game. They taught me a game of chance, part of their culture. And I was over there kind of learning this game with them. It had to do with some dice and some other things. And we were sitting there cavorting and having a great time, and as you do, the Lotus Leaf comes out when you're rolling with Daglin Macross, and that's how we roll. We ended up having a great time, and the next thing I know, I see at another end of the bar is a group of moos, and sitting amongst them was this giant Mongolian terror. 6'4", 6'5" for a moo, just an absolute genetic behemoth, a freak, right? Anyway, words are kind of exchanged between the two tables. And of course, Daglin, knowing as many languages as I do, and with my friend Ka, I've been starting to slowly pick up on a few of the moo language. Not a lot, but a bit here and there. I know enough to get my ass kicked. So anyway, I get over there and we say a few words, and I try to, I end up telling him that he overheard my boast of nobody could, under the dead sun could outdrink me, and wanted to have a contest and to outdrink me. And as he says that, he wanted to wager, and his friends beside him, the Moos, put up a large, like 45 carat, like sun, like sapphire, rough cut, so it hasn't been jeweled or cut, but just this giant. So a lot of action is starting to be made and wagered on this. A couple of people, patrons in the bar, one of the owner of the bar, have kind of seeing this kind of action kind of happen. So a lot of side action and stuff is starting to take place. At first, it started out with hand of eye tricks, and this group, the things escalated between the two groups till it finally ended up with Daglin McRoss versus the giant Moo in a drinking contest of cherry brandy, right? So they're just doing shots of this crazy liquor, I guess.
And it did happen. There was lots of shots and lots of yelling and cheering, and there was a deckhand that was there, and he laughed. Somebody shoved. A table leg snapped. And the rest is legend, at least according to the witnesses who survived the first minute.
That's how I got this black eye.
So there were three deckhands from the Lizard Coast. They dove in. They were hassas, spoiling for sport anyway. There was a scarred fishmonger's son who took exception to Daglin. When he first sat down with the Moos, using a crate of eels as a seat, and as things were beginning to escalate and people were shoving, there was an off-duty city watchman who meant to calm things down, but instead caught a tankard right in the teeth. But how it unfolded.
Good old-fashioned Donnybrook. I think
course,
it's what the Canadians say.
Of course. But how it unfolded, Daglin floored two men with sweeping blows and used a third as a shield when knives came out. A bracer tipped over, sending a sailcloth smoldering, which was quickly stamped out barely. And then the brawl spilled into the street, where Daglin looked, head-butted a piling, trying to finish with a flurry. The piling won. And as he came to, bruised ribs, split lip, cracked knuckles. No lasting harm, but he will feel it when the weather turns. The City Watch arrived in force before the crowd could truly turn murderous, and to avoid incarceration, Daglin was fined for damages, broken tables, spilled stock, and one offended watchman's dental work. He roll us a D20.
Oh, that sounds so awesome. Picturing that scene in my mind.
Oh,
okay.
So that's going to cost you an additional, on top of the 30%, an additional 160 gold pieces for damages. Spilled stock.
And, quieting down the guard, the city guard, a little bribe here and there, right? I get it. I get it.
So, afterwards, the Hook and Keel proprietor now knows Daglin by name, and will double his prices when he returns.
So I'm a minority owner now, I guess, in that awful little bar.
Yeah, and paying double whenever you're there.
Hey, whatever I'm there, that's still the rule.
And the City Watch has logged Daglin's description. Another disturbance in the Fish Gut District will not be met with patience. There will be immediate strikes. So
Is it Carsos Maniagos that they're looking for? As Daglin screams at them in perfect Thracian. I think that might be the alias we'll use tonight.
That might be, but
That might
they,
be. But they got the description. A handsome man spitting out a tooth.
they'll know who you are. But with that, we'll bring our night of drinking and debauchery to a close. And when we're thinking about it, we always want to ask, what does your victory look like? With me at the moment is Sam. How about we introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Sam Dennis from beautiful Southern California, and I am playing Ka of Mu, who has survived much longer than I would have suspected, given how I'm doing everything I can to play him to his accurate wisdom score. But he continues to persevere. I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
having a good time in the game all around.
Excellent. I would say that most of his luck so far has been his absence, but you know.
Yeah, I did have a bad couple of games there for sure, but I'm trying to make up for that in the new year.
That's okay. So this takes place in between the two arcs that we're currently on. One was the Pact of Three Shadows, which we just finished, and then with a 2-week gap, waiting for their companion to be healed up and ready and trained, and then they began to embark on Oath Beneath the Salt. In between, we're having a little bit of debauchery once we figured out that this was fine. So we'll start tonight.
Yeah.
We will start tonight.
I'm gonna hang around with that morbid so and so. It's best to move on and have some fun.
So we will start with Ka, and if you could roll me a D6, please.
All right, little honor system, but I'm all into it. 3.
A 3. Well, that's going to be whatever your wealth is. 30% of your wealth is what you're going to spend.
All right.
So that's not too bad. It could be a whole lot worse. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. I'm going to need you to roll another D6.
1.
1. That's only 10%. Even better.
So it's not.
Not 30. No, it's not bad at all.
It is 10% is what? 19. So 19 gold.
That's okay. That's good. That's what you're going to spend. However, how you're going to spend it. Finds himself in the Jade Quarter, near a wine house favored by sailors and shrine attendants alike. And what happened? Ka, the Moosh warrior, drank too much spiced wine, cut with lotus honey.
As he is wont to.
For sure. But when the music swelled, however, he stood steady at first and declared he would honor his homeland with a traditional war chant. What did that war chant look like?
Well, Ka would, of course, have to draw his sword. In this case, he would draw his sword and shield. And it is a chant more guttural and phonetic than words, as the Mooish people don't need a lot of vocabulary. Their language is actually very sparse, and it's actually considered a little crass to use too many words to talk about things. It's something Ka has had to get used to, and kind of modern society out here.
Yeah.
So it's more of a Well, without any disrespect to any other cultures, but like the Fijis, island people that do more of a chant, right?
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Getting the troops ready. Yeah.
Excellent.
If they're out on the plains of Mu, generally speaking, it is you, your people, and against another group, and you're getting ready to go. So you're just firing yourself up.
Yeah. So what followed was not a war chant. It was a slurred, stomping, half-remembered rhythm that split into a wild, offbeat dance, somewhere between a challenge ritual and a mating display. Ka's voice cracked. He forgot the words. He tried to improvise loudly, and a drum chimed in out of pity and then stopped out of mercy. He attempted to finish with a flourish, but missed the beat entirely, and then bowed to the wrong wall. So it's usually not too embarrassing when you're by yourself, however. In this wine house, there were temple novices on errands who now whisper whenever Ka passes. There's dockside regulars who christened the performance the Staggering Ox, and a minor poet who wrote 3 lines about it and recited them for free drinks all week long. And by morning, half the quarter knew of Ka, even if they didn't know him. So we'll see how this plays out going forward. We're gonna there's a few more of these to follow, but
no, I had a little bit of a drunken evening. It'll be fine.
A little bit. Yours wasn't too expensive. I think there might be some expensive ones coming up. But
even how Ka is, he got off cheap.
Yeah, but the one thing that did happen among those watching was a quiet elder of the Muish diaspora visiting Omarium on trade. He did not laugh. He watched Ka with narrowed eyes. And later, Ka received a note. If you would shame the old ways, you must also be willing to defend them. Ultimately, Ka's humiliation will become a test of pride, restraint, and whether he will let mockery define him or answer it with deed. Joining me now is Jeff. Let everyone know where you're from and who you've been playing.
Where I am from the Midwest, about an hour west of Chicago, in Illinois, snowy Illinois, where the temperature is up to a balmy 37 degrees and about to drop back down to 6 tonight. But hey, take what you can get. It's time to go do a polar plunge, maybe. No, just kidding. Who have I been playing? Varkun Kang, who is a precocious, ornery, Hyperborean cleric of Auroras, who is pious at times and, as we'll find out shortly, not pious.
Not pious. Yeah, so with 2 weeks of downtime as Dis healed up and got some training, the group all got up to a little bit of shenanigans. No doubt they will shenanigan at some point. But for those who don't know, we're using the drunken debauchery tables available from Northwind Adventures. I've got the link in the description. So first off, we get Mark roll us a D6.
Here goes the start of my downfall.
a 4. Okay, and then another d6. Ooh, that's nasty. So you're going to spend in your evening out spending 60% of your
Fuck.
money that you have left. So
Supposed to be only one ale. That was it.
it's only supposed to be 1 ale. But we will
Let's see what
start the story about Varcoon's oath. I here swear. The location was the smoke-choked wine hall near the quays of Chromarium. It was late. It was loud, lit by guttering candles and cheap recruits. And
Good times.
with wine on his breath and a righteous fire in his eyes, Varcoon proclaimed aloud,
By the light of Auroras, I will tear down the hidden thugs who poison this quarter. Names, coins, and den alike. Before the next dark of the moon, their hands will appear broken, as yours are, or their secrets laid bare.
yes, it wasn't a boast. It wasn't a boast.
No,
It was a vow, spoken with a cleric's cadence and sealed with a silvered sign over his heart.
and after I do that, I chug back the rest of my ale and throw the cup.
Most vows spoken, in ale halls. There's a few people around that choose to listen or hear. There was a masked broker at the edge of the hall. There were 2 dock toughs who fell suddenly silent when Aurora's name was invoked. And there was a junior watch scribe off duty pretending not to listen while memorizing every word. But most importantly, sitting in the corner was a listener of the temple, a minor functionary whose sole duty it is to note oaths spoken in public places where the gods are named. He left before dawn. And who will be enforcing this and why? The Temple of Auroras itself, not with soldiers, but with expectation. The listener recorded the vow as a declared light bond, public oath invoking divine witness, and within days, word returned to Varcoon through polite channels. The temple rejoices in his seal and awaits proof of his devotion.
Well, they know that I was just drunk and I had a moment of clarity.
However, there are thugs. There are thugs that poison the quarter. Name, coin can be returned, ends alike. And so, lots of information, lots of things, but you do know, Varcoon does know, that oaths spoken in Auroras' name must be honored, lest the light become a mockery. We wouldn't want that.
Is there any loophole in there for intoxication or anything like that, even while sinning?
Yes, no, the politics, the temple has long suspected a network of dock enforcers, shielding smugglers and heretical traffickers, but lacks deniability. Varcoon is now that deniability.
You know any guilds right now that I've made an enemy of just by speaking that stupidity while drunk? Take this as a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Don't speak when drunk.
Yes. So if Varcoon succeeds, he knows he should be elevated. If he fails, the temple will know why.
Because I am not righteous enough.
Yes. Joining me now is let everyone know where you're from and who you've been playing.
Well, my name is Bob. I live in central Massachusetts, and I've been playing Bork Torbjornsson. Basically, he is a ballista with a bow. He is a Norse ranger.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm learning all about the Norse Ranger. And so with 2 weeks of downtime as Dis healed up, the group ended up getting into a little bit of shenanigans. There will be, and they will no doubt shenanigan at some point. But for those who don't know, we're using the drunken debauchery tables available from Northwind Adventures. Link is in the description down below. First things first, Bob, I don't know, have you looked at them? Do you know what they're all about?
I have not looked at them recently.
You can roll me a d6 then to start.
Alrighty. 6.
It's a 3. Okay, cool. And now I need a second d6.
4.
Okay. So not that I really want to punish my characters too much. How much money does Bork have in his
possession?
in his possession? I don't want to take money that you're going to finish spending on your bow, though. So don't count that.
Right. He has roughly 10 copper, 186 silver, and 45 gold pieces.
Is that after you paid?
Yep.
45, so it's about 55, 56 gold, something like that.
Something like that.
You can take 40% of that off. You're going to spend that today.
Alrighty.
In your adventure, you will spend 40% of your money. And Bork's night was with some new friends. In the Fish Gut district, spilling into the Keys, music, tar, and salt in the air. What happened that night? Bork arrived flush with coin, curiosity. He drank properly from a horn passed hand to hand, and then paid for music, and then paid for more music. And when the fiddler broke a string, Bork bought him a new one. And when the dockhands argued, Bork bought peace. And when the night threatened to sour, Bork laughed and turned it sweet again. And by dawn, his purse was light, his head was ringing, and half the key knew his name. What else happened?
Well, being a young man of 16, probably got into a little trouble. Perhaps found a pretty bar wench and maybe spent some time with her.
Nice. Yes. I'm certain that happened. Some of your other friends, though, that you did meet, you met Hethler Coilfingers, quick smiling string player. She's the one that you bought the new string for. She knows every tavern in town with a loose latch and every rumor worth coin. You met another guy, old Varric, a ferryman who moves cargo at night and hears everything said on the water. And you also met Morel of the Nets, a dockside mender who drinks little, listens much, but she remembers faces forever. And they all like Bork because he paid fairly, laughed easily, and never boasted. A rare, rare thing in Cromarion. Within 2 days, rumors were circulating around the district. The Northman pays gold for songs, not silence. And he drinks like a reaver, but listens like a hunter. And Viking's not tied to a guild. Not yet. None of these are entirely true. Some of them might be useful in the future. So we will think about how things go, as Orc's night of drunken debauchery didn't end up costing him as much as some of the others are likely going to cost them. So we will see you in those sessions. I do want to mention for sure 100% that Bob's going to be at TotalCon on the 19th to the 22nd of February in Marlborough, Massachusetts. If you want to get tickets, they're available at totalcon.com. Bob's going to be running some adventures, and from what I've read, they look awesome. I'm jealous. I wish I was going. We will see you all then. And until next time, what does your adventure look like?